Welcome to the Retirement's Next Steps podcast. I'm your host, Jill Templeton-Haislip, Global Real Estate Advisor and Senior Real Estate Specialist with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty DeGeorge Partners. This podcast is a valuable resource for retirees looking to connect with industry experts who can enhance your retirement experience. With so many companies, products, and services available, it can be overwhelming to know where to start. Let us help you navigate through it all and find the resources you truly need to make the most of your retirement years. As always, you can join us in person with each of our industry experts for the full presentation every month on the last Thursday at 4 p.m. Our office is located at 16872 East Avenue of the Fountains, Suite 103 in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Go ahead and share with our viewers who you are and what is your company.
Okay, I am Kelly Cornelius, and my company is Home Instead, and we provide service for seniors and aging adults that are looking to age in place here in the entire Phoenix area.
Wonderful. So explain for people, what does that mean to age in place in their home? Because I know that can be varying.
Yes. I think the main thing is when you talk to adults, most of them, 85%, want to age at home, wherever they call home. So home could be a condo. Home could be their summer home in Arizona, winter home. Most people winter. So their winter home in Arizona, or they could be in an independent living or an assisted living. So wherever. I'm
glad you point that out, that it truly is wherever you call home. You don't have to physically be in a home setting. It can be what that fits for you, even if it's independent living.
Yes.
Sorry, continue.
That's okay. No, that's great. And it's important to point that out because I think probably close to half of our clients live in a continuing care community of some kind rather than in an individual private residence. So I like to point that out. And really what our services allow people to do is stay there longer if they start to have things that they don't enjoy doing anymore, like prepping meals or going to get groceries. Me too. Yes. All the things that I don't like to do.
Right.
And then if they need help getting in and out of the shower safely, for example, all of these things that kind of get more difficult as we get older.
Sure.
Those are things we can help support with in the home, and then you are not having to leave home and go into an assisted living setting if you don't want to. Some people want to do that, and that's great. That's great for them. But what we found is 85% of people want to stay home, and that's really where our services come in.
So you mentioned that you can provide services from going grocery shopping to somebody, I would assume taking them to doctor's appointments or maybe going out to do grocery shopping. But what are the actual in-home type services such as cleaning, assistance with medication, showers? Like, what does that scope look like?
Yeah, great question. And it's very wide, I will say. And so what we do is sit down with a family and we have a conversation about what are the things that are difficult for you, what are the things that you don't like doing anymore, you just don't have joy doing, or that make you really tired and make you a fall risk if you keep doing them. Like, a big one is changing bed linens. That's one of the most difficult. It's difficult for me sometimes, depending on which bed I'm changing, but that's one of the things, like, create a huge fall risk for seniors.
I would have never thought of that.
Yes, or trying to lift the mattress to, tuck the fitted sheet under. So we can do anything from laundry, meal preparation, cleaning out a refrigerator. One of the things that we aren't always good at as we age is cleaning out expired food, particularly if there's cognitive impairment of any kind. Kids will come to visit and find a ton of expired foods in their mom or dad's or grandparents' refrigerators. So our care pros a lot of the time are making sure the food in the refrigerator is fresh and up to date. We can also do things like take out the garbage, keeping surfaces clean. We clean showers, bathrooms, and then when you're talking about like the individual person versus housekeeping, our caregivers can do anything from have a conversation, put a puzzle together with somebody, bring socialization into a home setting where maybe they live alone or their loved one has dementia and is in a memory care facility, and so they're lonely.
So companionship.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's
absolutely
wonderful.
Those are some of the like funnest relationships to see blossom. And then things like showering, dressing, all the things that we consider activities of daily living. Those are the things we can help with. We do a lot of return to home. So when somebody's had a hip replacement or a fall, maybe fractured some ribs, we're there in the home with them until they kind of reacclimate and get their strength back. So we're helping them with things like getting their shirt on because they can't lift their hands above their head maybe, or washing hair because that's difficult after broken ribs. So there's a wide range of things that we can do, and really we tailor our plan to every single client, their specific needs, and also their goals. Like, where do you want to be? What do you want to get to? Do we want to start like getting you out of the house more and going to baseball games or golf, taking them to the driving range? It's really fun. Like, we get to find out what our clients' dreams are for the last 20 years of their life, and then kind of help them achieve those and live that out.
I'm sure that's a huge desire, especially with isolation being a big problem for our older folks, especially if they've lost close family members or maybe neighbors have moved away. Being able to have that as a resource could be life-changing for them, really.
Absolutely, and I think it's even more prevalent here because we have so many transplants and so many snowbirds.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the people we're taking care of have family thousands of miles away, maybe not even in the country. They could be living in Europe. It varies so much, but we can be that local support that the family, as much as they want to provide it, they know they're not there physically. So that's why they call us. And we, as much as we're caring for mom, dad, or grandma and grandpa, we're also taking such a stressful burden off of those kids and the people that can't be here. And that's rewarding to me, is being able to just tell a daughter, I'm going to take care of your mom. We got this. Don't lose sleep at night. We're here.
Yes. Tell us about the Care Pros that you have. Who are these folks? How many days do they work with somebody? Just give a little more insight into who would be coming into the home helping with each person.
Yeah. Our Care Pros are the heart of what we do. We cannot do this without them, obviously, and it's not an easy job. Some of our seniors and some of our clients are super easy, and it's an easy job, but others are more difficult.
Sure.
They're having a hard time. They're in pain all the time, so they're not exactly fun and pleasant to be with. And so our caregivers have to really have a passion for doing this, and all of them do. They're just the most loving people that really want to make a difference in the world. All of them are background checked, screened, they're licensed, bonded. We provide insurance. It's very important if you're looking into caregiving. Those are important questions to ask. If it's not Home Instead, ask whatever company you're interviewing and working with, because there's not a lot of regulation. There's no regulation here in the state of Arizona, so you really need to be an advocate and regulate for yourself.
Yes.
So we have a very high standard of training and a high standard for the Care Pros that we bring in. We don't always make a perfect choice. Of course, there's caregivers that don't work out and we decide aren't a good fit. But we make sure they're very well trained. They're trained with cognitive impairment. They're trained on the aging process so that they can watch out for what's normal aging look like and what might be out of the norm that I need to report.
Sure.
Yep, that's very important. And then really what we do is get to know our clients, we get to know our caregivers, and try to make good matches, not just on skill set, but also on personality and interest.
Yeah.
So in order to have someone come into your home, a stranger, we try to make that the most comfortable situation that we can. It's not an easy thing to accept help. It's not an easy thing to have someone that you don't know. We provide overnight care at times, so having a stranger sleep in your house can be very weird.
Sure, yeah.
So we really try to make it a holistic match based on the whole person on both sides, because our Care Pros want to enjoy what they're doing too.
Of course.
So after we make that match, we introduce the two, and if it's a good fit, it's a good fit. If one of them decides like this isn't the right fit for me, we understand that. Our clients, we have very regular conversations and check-ins with them to make sure that the care pros are doing what they should be doing, and also are making them feel valued and helping them achieve those goals that we set out to achieve.
I love that. It's kind of like dating. You gotta maybe sometimes check out a few people before you find the right one. I mean, that's very common. You had mentioned overnight stays, so it doesn't just have to be daylight hours that somebody's there. This can be a 24/7 care process.
Yes, we provide care anywhere from just 4 hours a day, a few days a week, up to 24/7 care. It really just depends on where somebody's at in their journey and what their needs are. Most of the time, our clients are going to start with lower hours.
Sure.
And they're going to grow over time because their needs change. So we call that our client journey, and we're on the journey together, and we're going to review our goals and change our goals and meet milestones together, and then make changes to the care plan. And sometimes that also means changing your care professionals, because we may have some care pros that are really, really wonderful with companionship, but then if somebody starts to need help with bathing and, transferring and ambulating, that might require a different care pro, because we want to make sure we're providing a safe environment for both the client and the caregivers.
Right. Okay. When do you think is the optimal time that somebody should reach out to you? I'm sure in a lot of cases it's stressful situation, they wait maybe a little too long. But when should somebody maybe consider getting in touch with you and learning about the different types of services you provide?
I think I'm going to say the earlier the better, obviously. We do get a lot of people that call in crisis, and that's okay, we can help, but it just makes it a more stressful situation, bringing people into the home during a crisis. So I think when you start to notice changes in your loved one, or if you notice changes in yourself where you're not feeling like doing things, or you feel unsafe doing certain things, it's time to start talking about your plan. Are you going to age in place, or are you planning to move into an assisted living or a different, supportive environment? So have a plan, and then start reaching out and executing that plan as soon as you start to see changes in your ability to live the way that you want to live. I have been on many panels where we talk about planning, and I always advocate, even if you're not ready to sign up for care, like start the relationship and start the conversation, start getting to know whatever company you choose Home Instead, of course, but
of course, yes.
whatever company you choose, start that conversation earlier so that you are comfortable and have all your questions answered before going into service.
Right. You had mentioned that your office is here in Fountain Hills, but you do service the Valley. What does that service area look like?
Yes, so Home Instead is a franchise network. We service the entire Valley. My particular team services Fountain Hills, Rio Verde, Cape Creek, Anthem, Carefree, Central Phoenix, and Scottsdale.
That's huge.
Huge territory.
Yes.
But we love it, and we've got a great team. Our care managers are kind of who our clients, that's their main point of contact.
Okay. And
they oversee the care team, and we call the care team their team of caregivers. Sometimes it's just one, sometimes they have 7 caregivers if they're getting 24/7 care. Those individuals really drive the care plan and get to know the families really well, and they become like part of the family too. So we love what we do, lots of passion for it, and I just encourage everybody to explore the option and understand what's available and decide, do you want to age at home, or are you going to move somewhere else, live in a continuing care community? There's just so many options here.
There is,
and
absolutely.
We're happy to be one of them.
Yes. How would folks get in touch with you?
You can visit our website, so you just Google Home Instead and put in your zip code, and you'll get to the right office.
Okay.
You can call us. Our phone number here locally in Fountain Hills is 500-6550, or reach out reach out to Jill. She has my contact information too.
Yes, and they have a nice office here in town that you can also stop by. You guys definitely are involved in all of the communities that you're in, which we love to see, giving back to your community. Tell us just real quick, how did you get into this? Because this is a very unique industry to be in. What was kind of that driving force for you?
Yes. There's really two major factors that got me into this industry. The first is I grew up in a very small town, and there were really 2 or 3 options for jobs in high school. It was babysitting, swimming pool, or the nursing home. And I really didn't like kids and didn't want to work at the swimming pool, so I tried working at the nursing home, and I ended up loving it. Loved interacting with all of the residents there, our patients, and that's where my passion for it grew. I ended up not pursuing anything in it for many, many years. I worked in sales for 10 to 12 years at CVS Health, and then my grandmother actually had a stroke, and I watched my mom care for her. Literally, my mom injured her back, lifting her from her wheelchair to her bed, and ultimately had to put her into a nursing home, and it just shattered my mom. Like, that's the one thing that's so hard to do as a daughter. I can't imagine doing that to my mom. But it was the only option she had, and so it just really made me revisit my path, my passion, and I wanted to do something in home care with seniors, and I wanted to own my own business. I was done being an employee, and so I found home instead, and I love the franchise network. There's so many great people that have taught me so much, and I can't imagine myself doing anything else.
I love that you touched on that it gives caregivers an opportunity to kind of not be that caregiver, and I'm sure you have tons of statistics and all this information you could share with us, but can you touch a little bit on how important it is for a daughter, a spouse, a son, whoever it is, to go back to being that person and not being the caregiver, for the reasons they could get hurt, but to maintain that family relationship?
Yeah, I mean, it's important for so many reasons. I think the number one reason is your health. A lot of times there is a statistic, and I'm not going to quote it because I'll get it wrong right now, but especially with cognitive impairment, we see the caregivers often pass away before the person suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia. And that's simply because the stress and burden of being that sole care provider is so significant that it just wears you down and you're not taking care of yourself.
And I don't think many people realize that. They think that it's typically the person who is the one with the cognitive decline that tends to go first. But no, if you're the sole caregiver, it is very trying on you and your body and your well-being.
Yes, and I also think in order to honor our grandma or our mom or our dad in the way that we should, I feel like honoring them is by being their daughter and getting to carry out that relationship versus becoming their caregiver, because I do think that can impact dignity a little bit.
100%.
Particularly, I think about my dad, and if I ever had to change his brief or give him a shower, he would not be good with that. He would rather somebody else do that. So I think also I think we feel guilty and sometimes feel like we need to provide the care, but we also need to look at it from our parents' eyes and say, I can't have you do this because I want you to be my daughter, not my caregiver or my son. And the other part of it is eventually you do get burned out, and it does impact your relationship because you're resentful, and you get to a point where you can't do it any longer. And rather than getting there and feeling resentful, then feeling guilty about calling someone to come in and help you, it's best just to find some resources that can help preserve your relationship with your mom or your dad. Let us do the heavy lifting, and you get to enjoy.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. I could talk to you all day long about your vast knowledge of caregiving and information about seniors and everything that they should do. But everybody should come to Retirement's Next Steps, and you can have an opportunity to ask Kelly questions. But tell us again how to best get in touch with you.
Yes, well, you can visit our office here, which is 17100 East Shea Boulevard. You can call us directly, 480-500-6550, or get in touch with Jill. I'm leaving her a bunch of information, so she'll have it here for you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. You guys provide a great service, and I'm thrilled that we could share some information with our folks listening today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Retirement's Next Steps podcast. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach me at 303-204-4432 or via email jill@dgeorgepartners.com. If you would like to attend one of our Retirement's Next Steps workshops, you can find the schedule on our website, Templeton-Haislip.com. Make sure to subscribe to Realtor Jill Templeton-Haislip on YouTube and follow the Retirement's Next Steps channel. You can also follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Wishing you a happy and fulfilling retirement. We look forward to connecting with you soon.